TNT Tropang Giga are finally champions once again in the PBA 3x3. The Tropang Giga won the first leg of the second conference over the weekend after beating the Meralco Bolts in the final 21-19. That man, Almond Vosotros, took charge for TNT, leading its comeback in the last 4 minutes to win their second overall PBA 3x3 title. Vosotros finished with 10 points, including the title-winning shot. And I got to speak to TNT 3x3 head coach Mau Belen. She says that while they welcomed this huge victory, they did not see it coming.
Honestly, it's very unexpected. Very sweet, yes, second time around. But very unexpected because, we have a new guy in our team training for about 3 weeks before the second conference start. We have to incorporate him in our system. So we didn't expect much. Pare-pareho kami ng mga players ko na parang quarterfinals, okay na tayo. Muna doon, siguro. Wow. If we reach that, parang that's a very high expectations pa nga. We don't know how the team are right now, but we know that everyone improves. Kasi kami din, kahit papano, kahit konti, nag-improve kami. So we know that it will be tougher competition, great team, may bagong team with Master Sardines. We know the other team changed lineup and all of that. So we really didn't expect this. And I think it's sweeter on the second time around.
I think you're just downplaying it, but I like the humility there, Coach. Of course, you had Raymark Acuno, Jeremiah Gray. Syempre, you had him. He was a big part in your first conference, but he was down. He went down with an injury. Why do you think, Coach Mau, it took this long for TNT to win another leg? It had to be another conference, and for you guys to be on top again.
There's one thing that we saw before we start training for second conference. We have to figure out what went wrong in the first conference, kung bakit hindi kami lagi nakaka-finish up to the end. And we found out it's our consistency. We lack consistency. Sometimes we are energetic, sometimes it's full effort, sometimes we are coming 100% prepared. And we told ourselves and we promised ourselves that we will try our best to be as consistent as possible and to give it our all every time we step out on the court.
Well, you said consistency and lack effort and energy, which I didn't see. Kumbaga, nakita ko naman yung energy nyo, yung effort nyo, and the hunger of your boys yesterday and the 2 days dito sa first leg of the second conference. A lot of close calls in this leg, Coach. Ang daming, I'm sure, a lot of times na kahit ikaw na kinakabahan. Ako, grabe a lot of close games. But I want to get your assessment of how your team performed here in the first leg of this conference. Ano yung mga nakita mo, Coach Mau, na gusto nyong i-maintain for the next legs to stay competitive, and ano rin yung mga gusto mong i-adjust moving forward?
Oh, there's quite a lot actually. Yung movement ni Lervin and ni Raymark inside have to be improved kasi syempre parang nagkakapaan po sila, no? But I thought my team parang stuck together up to the end. They told me before the finals that they're feeling a little fatigued. It was a really quite a battle in semifinals with Limitless. But I told them to just stick together, be there for each other. That's what I like the most.
Yeah.
We are down at the first 5 minutes of the game. We are down like 13-8. And we tried and fight back the best we can. But still, our movement, our flow, how we conduct, how we call our defense and offense, we have to polish that coming to second leg.
Ganda nun, Limitless, and you said, syempre, Limitless is the defending champs, diba? They're a formidable team here in the 3X. And Almond Vosotros is the man. He led the league in scoring nung first conference. And he played big, not only, mamaya tayo sa finals, but he just pretty much carried your team to this title. Let's talk about the value of Almond to this team. I don't know if I can share what you shared. I'm sure a lot of teams were getting Almond in the offseason, but to be able to keep a guy like Almond Vosotros, who is just composed in moments like that and just hits those shots when it matters, how valuable is Almond to your to the system and to the team that you're running there, Coach?
Um, I, I'm not gonna be honest to you if I say na not so much, but Almond is of course our main guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I am always telling him not to put that in his head, but more in his heart. How much he's carrying the load for us in offense, and giving us wins when we needed it the most, is very important to us. But he should also know how to communicate with his teammates, how to balance them out
Yeah.
if they're fighting, or if he needs to fight with someone just to put them up in,
Yeah.
to bring them back in their own self.
Yeah.
Especially on 3x3, you don't have a coach during the game.
That's right.
Sa training yan, ano lang yan, lagi lang papatawa, lagi lang nagjo-joke and
Talaga?
all. Pero when it comes to games, talaga, you don't even see him sometimes smile, no? Hindi talaga. Pag tinatawagan lang siya ng mga cheap foul ng referee, dun yata alam ko siya natatawa. But other than that, he's very focused, he's very
Yeah.
serious during the game. And I'm giving him and Samboy to both the responsibility to lead the team every
Yeah.
time we get out on the floor.
For 3 months, TNT is finally back on top of the PBA 3x3 tournament as they win the first leg of the second conference. The Tropang Giga surviving 2 grueling playoff matches against Limitless and Meralco en route to the crown thanks to the late game heroics of Almond Vosotros. In part 2 of my conversation with head coach Mau Belen, she tells us what she and Almond talked about after the veteran guard nailed the game-winning shot in the final.
I tried to congratulate him, but his mind is still focused on the game. You know, he's talking about our lapses already.
Yeah.
The things we need to adjust come second leg.
Wow.
And that's the kind of, that's the kind of player he is. Talaga. Maybe his previous coaches can attest to it, or his
Yeah.
previous teammates can attest to this when he's still in college. But that I love about him.
Yeah.
And then I stopped him. You can see me. I was holding his shoulder.
Yeah,
I told him, try to relax a bit. Celebrate. Let's celebrate this win first. And then we'll go back on our next training and
Yeah.
we'll talk about that more.
Ganun kasi, yeah.
Just he's a little bit pissed about something, but I told him to just let it go for now. We'll talk about it in the film room after.
Parang naiinis nga siya. Sabi ko, kaka-champion lang nito, parang naiinis. But you know who he reminded me yesterday? Pareho natin favorite player. He was like Devin Booker yesterday. Talagang killer siya yesterday. Another player that sabi mo nga you got him for Limitless, and he also was, kumbaga, naging vital siya. Si Raymark Acuno, prior to this conference, you added him. What did you see in him? Why does he fit? And why do you need a Raymark Acuno with this team that you have already with Samboy De Leon, Lervin Flores, and Almond?
Yun nga, honestly, we got Raymark. If kung isipin namin lagi paano i-dethrone yung Limitless, no? Kudos to Limitless. High respect to Coach Willie and his team. They're really the team to beat.
Yeah.
So coming to second leg, we are trying to prepare, and just Raymark coming to TNT just right in time. And the management told me if I want him in the TXU team, and sino nga ayaw, no? And the more important thing that nakapagpa-oo sa akin is always in our games, Lervin is almost dying sa mga games namin. Because he's really a workhorse, down there offensively, defensively, blocking shots, rebounding for us, setting screens, up and down, moving up and down of that half court. With Raymark's presence, nahati yung job nila.
Yeah.
And then you can now use both their energies to the long game, which is just like yesterday, we had 4 games almost back to back. And that helps.
Yeah.
That helps us in the long run.
Yeah. and having a Lervin Flores and then a Raymark Acuno, sabi mo nga mas nababalanse mo na ngayon, di ba coach? As good as your team already is, mas magaling pa sana kung, di ba, mas magaling, kumbaga, mas okay pa sana kayo kung hindi na-injure si Jeremiah Gray last conference. I want to get an update on Jeremiah. How is Jeremiah Gray? Can we expect him back? When do we expect him back?
Yeah, I was just talking to him yesterday. Of course,
Okay.
he messaged us congratulating
Yeah.
the team, and I gave him a quick phone call and I asked him how is he. He just said he's fine, he's recovering, and then I joke about hintayin ka namin sa third conference, ha? Papasok ko na pala yung lineup sa third conference, nandun yung pangalan mo. He's like, when is that, coach? I said, siguro mga April. Sabi niya, too soon, sabi niya sa akin. But I asked him if he's entering the draft, and he said he's eager to enter the PBA draft.
Okay,
So,
okay.
that's the update. But for now, he's okay. His recovery is faster than expected, he said. So hopefully we can see him back in a couple of months.